I think having a more holistic, and I kind of call it healthy relationship with prospect and customer organizations probably should, I mean, sort of gut feel, it should have a much greater return.
Even in 2025, with all these AI tools in the world, relationships are still driving revenue. And so we found this ability to score momentum or engagement is a great way of understanding whether if a customer has a problem, but the engagement's still high or maintained, that's great. And, people understand that challenges happen. But as soon as engagement with the right stakeholder starts to drop off, that's a really interesting warning sign that this could be a churn risk. And thinking about churn, and some of the other data points we picked up on was that if the last 2 QBRs you've done with your customer before the renewal are done at the C level, you are 7 times more likely to open up an opportunity for cross-sell or upsell. But if the last 2 QBRs before the renewal are done at a more junior level, you are 4 times more likely to churn the customer. So really understanding, it's not just about doing QBRs, it's really about understanding who are we really engaging with and where are our relationships with this account. And if you don't have C-level buy-in, momentum and engagement, you need to find a reason and a justification for them to want to spend time with you, which is kind of why we ended up developing what we call Revenue Insights as a Service, because we get the opportunity to sit with our customers every quarter and really highlight what the next challenges are that they need to address to maximize their chances of increasing growth.
I want to kind of drill in on, driving growth and kind of departure from business practice that got us to about 5 years ago. I want to sort of dig into how we're moving away from the predictable revenue model, and yet how some aren't, right? It's almost like a bifurcation in the tool sets that people are adopting. They're either using AI as a way to automate bad behavior, the worst of the SDR behavior, spray and pray, or moving to kind of a different use of AI. And I think you've touched on that here, but can you kind of paint this in starker terms for us, the difference between automating and creating more bad behavior versus how companies are building more effective engagement with prospects? And you did touch on it a little bit, but I think it's worth kind of digging in a little bit at this point.
There's so many AI tools out there, but the challenge is that in my mind, they're really all these individual point solutions. While they're getting huge amounts of growth, they're also seeing incredible amounts of churn. And I'm not sure there's a space in the market for individual point solutions that are just called AI. My gut feel is that companies are still wanting to buy, platforms that help them solve certain outcomes for the customer. And if that platform happens to use AI or happens to use cloud or happens to use any sort of technology, the customer really just doesn't care.